So today I'm sitting with Cynthia Bruno, and she's the WCIA Morning Show Anchor. And Cynthia, if I remember right, you're from an ag background. Could you explain about that a little bit?
Sure. So my family owns a company called Grow Alliance, and it's the nation's largest independent contract seed corn production company. Growing up, agriculture was more than a word. It was a lifestyle in my family. I detasseled corn every summer for up until I was like 21 or 22. And even last summer when I, go home to visit and my brothers are needing some help in the fields because they're all part of the company, my husband and I were expected to go out and work in the fields with them and do those sorts of things. So it's still, very much in my blood.
Yeah. And do your parents farm on top of that then, or did they just own their seed company?
They pretty much just own the seed company. They used to farm, when the company was a lot smaller, and that was a different way to, make ends meet at that point.
Yeah, sure.
But now they just do some hobby farming. They raise some beef and things like that. But they're mostly just into the business side of things now.
Since you grew up with agriculture, you knew basically what agriculture was about, where your food came from, why you had the clothes you're wearing, and how you get to point A to point B in a vehicle. So could you kind of tell me why you think today's youth should be educated about agriculture?
Well, I think that the biggest reason is that there are a lot of opportunities for them in agriculture. And I think that sometimes, unfortunately, there's when you picture a farmer, sometimes you aren't picturing everything that goes into farming.
Yep.
And I think that when kids start to realize what agriculture is and, why it's important to their lives, they're going to see that there's another whole industry available to them and jobs available, and it's an industry that's seeing a lot of growth and expansion, both technologically and from just a base job standpoint. And I think that, it's good for them to, especially here in central Illinois, agriculture is the driving industry here. And I think it's important for them to understand that.
I have one more question here for you. What do you think the importance of agriculture will be for the future and for society, and how they might value that down the road more than now?
I mean, that's a loaded question because there are so many different ways to go with that. Certainly we are seeing a lot of hunger in the world, and agriculture is something that can battle that. So the more efficient we become with our resources, the more people we can feed. And I think that people agree that that's a good thing. It's to feed hungry people. But it's not just on a community level. It's on a national level. It's on a global level. And so I think that, first and foremost, dealing with hunger is definitely going to be the biggest key and push moving forward. I also think, though, that when you look at technology, that is going to be really interesting moving forward. There's a lot of exciting things happening in agriculture, and the techniques that they use now with GPS coordination of planting and making sure the seed is exactly where it's supposed to be in the ground, and weed control, and there are apps out there where field scouts are going in and you can see exactly where they've been in the field and how much that they've covered. And I just think it's exciting to see all these other industries feeding more so into agriculture now than they have in the past.
Very much so. Well, I appreciate your time spent with me this morning, and I'm sure that we will be speaking with Cynthia down the road as an advocate of agriculture. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.